In a tragic incident that unfolded in Ongata Rongai, a young man's life came to a sorrowful end. The sequence of events began when he allegedly stole a phone at a local KCB bank before attempting to evade capture. Seeking refuge at the Baraka Rescue Tumaini, a place that was meant to provide solace, the young man's attempts to hide were in vain. Reports indicate that the individuals from whom he had stolen the phone tracked him down at the Baraka Rescue Hotel. A confrontation ensued, resulting in a violent altercation. Witnesses describe a distressing scene as the people he had stolen from confronted him, leading to a physical altercation that left him battered and injured.
Jina ni Shakia Suga. Mimi ni mkazi wa hapa Rongai, karibu na hapa Baraka ambapo ilikuwa crime scene. So the previous night kulikuwa na there was a problem kwa biashara hapa around midnight. Kulikuwa na mkutano hapa nje just adjacent to Baraka hapa kwa hii partner league huko mbele. So kulikuwa na mkutano na mtu alikuwa anapigwa hapo, semekana ameiba simu. So I was interested, nilikuwa hapa ndani, nilikuwa nimedrop hapa kwa biashara nishafunga, lakini nilikuwa na shughuli hapa. So nikatoka nje, I just gave a glimpse to see what's going on, but sikutake your to a serious. So me came back in, nikaacha huyo mtu akipigwa tubusu akipelekwa kule mbele. So hivyo story iliisha, kila mtu akaenda zake. Hiyo usiku mimi nikarudi mchana hapa tukiwa kwa shughuli, tukasikia kuna huko mbele hapo Baraka kuna hizo vurugu hiyo ya vitu kuvunjwa, glasses, everything. Alafu kwenda kuinquire, inasemekana kwamba mtu alipigwa hiyo previous night, the following day sijui kama ilikuwa the following day ama hiyo tu usiku, sisema niko sure. Kumbe alienda akafika hospitali lakini akakufa. Sijui kama alienda hospitali, but that story that ilikuwa ina circulate around hapa. So alipass, lakini alikuwa Muislamu, so akaenda kazi kwa hiyo siku hiyo, na kutokana na hiyo hasira ya wale walimzika, I think their friends or whatever, wakarudi wakasema they're coming to revenge their comrade. So wakakuja ndio wakaleta vurugu yote hapo, wakasema hiyo nini ifungwe, isifunguliwa. Kwa hivyo polisi wakakuja wakadisperse watu.
To compound the situation, it's been reported that the young man had also consumed food at the Baraka Rescue Hotel without settling the bill. As the situation escalated, the local authorities were alerted and promptly arrived at the scene. The police took control of the situation and rushed the injured young man to a nearby hospital. Despite medical efforts to save his life, the young man tragically succumbed to his injuries, marking an unfortunate end to the series of events. I am here at Baraka Rescue in Tumaini, Ongata Rongai, where a young guy came to seek refuge and met his demise. I am your reporter, Vivian Kerr.
Human rights activists Solomon Dennis Wanda went out of his way to provide relief food to Ongata Rongai youths and launched Jibonge Youth Initiative today, focusing on listening to their grievances and connecting with them.
Leo ni siku ya vijana ama World Youth Day, ndio maana nikasema niungane na vijana kutoka pembe zote za Rongai tuweze kuzungumza. Hii initiative inaitwa Tujibonge. Tujibonge ni initiative ambayo nataka ku-encourage my youth waweze kujizungumza, yani we share out our issues, tuweze kuzungumza issues zetu, isifike mahali paka depression inatuua sababu ya kukosa.
As we celebrate International Youth Day today, Solomon Wanda handed out a total of 10 bundles of maize flour to youths across Ongata Rongai. He stated that the initiative's goal is to promote mental health and put an end to depression amongst youths.
Ndio maana nikasema tuzunguke mashinani, tuweze kubonga nao ma youth, tuweze kushare out shida zetu na tuweze ku-encourage wa form groups. Ndio kukikuwa na tatizo ama kukikuwa na namna ya usaidizi waweze kusaidika kwa kutumia zile groups. So tutakuwa tuna transverse area tofauti, tunakaa nao, tunaongea nao, tunawapatia motisha ya kuweza kutengeneza groups ambazo zitaweza kuwasaidia kupata matakwa tofauti tofauti.
In addition, the initiative will aid in motivating the youths to work and not give up. Shadrach Mureithi, best known as Professor Mazingumzi, sent his regards and stated that he wishes the same happened often.
My name is Shadrach Mureithi, Professor Mazingumzi in other terms. We thank God for the news that we got as a daily bread for today. For without him, we wouldn't have had it. We are a youth group, Green Castle youth group. So all I got to say is just to appreciate. Hence I tell him to come more and more and more and more. That's all. He's not a politician. He's a good willing person, a youth. Mayouth wengine ni kuwashuhudia manzi wajitokeze. They told their group to form for unity strength. Umoja ni nguvu kwa ufupi. Utangamano ni udhaifu, ili hali utangamano ni udhaifu.
Happy World Youth Day.
Reporting from Tumaini Ongata Rongai, I am Esther Mongai.
Rongai citizens are struggling with the escalating cost of living as commodity prices experience a steady surge due to a spike in inflation. A recent report from Kenya National Bureau of Statistics highlights that the prices of key items such as onions, tomatoes and maize grain have hiked.
Kwa hii wakati challenge ya nyanya imekuwa juu sana. Saa hii bei inakutoka 75 ngiri 7. Na venye tumeweka, usipoiweka venye huko use vizuri, inaweza choma.
Leaving Kenyans concerned about their purchasing power. One of most striking example of price surge is seen in cost of onions. The price per kilogram, which used to be 139 shillings, leaped to 155 shillings, making an increase of 15 shillings. However, not all commodities experience such drastic changes. Carrots, potatoes and cabbages declined. The hiking in transport costs witnessed, which was notable by 3.5% rise between June and July 2023, influenced the steep increase in petrol prices, which jumped from 182 shillings per litre to 195 shillings per litre, a price rise of 6.9%. Diesel also experienced a similar upward trend, climbing from 167 shillings to 180 shillings, indicating a 7.4% increase. The effect was further intensified by fare hikes on some public transport routes, which hiked the price of things in market. The feeling on the ground remains a mixture of frustration and concern, as many Kenyans are appealing to government for intervention, urging measures to elevate the financial strain. For now, the situation continues to evolve, with citizens hoping for a much-needed relief from the escalating prices of daily essentials.
Reporting from Ongata Rongai to Tumaini Market, my name is Lisa Anna.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. You kindly just tell us name, what you do, and now relating to this topic, what you believe.
So my name is Doka Soita. By profession, I am a public speaking coach and a speech writer. That's what I do to pay the bills. But in line with today's topic, I am an atheist. In other words, I do not believe in the existence of God.
Okay, so since you do not believe in a supernatural being or any religion,
yes.
So there is a question of what is right, what is wrong. When it comes to ethics and morality, of which basically most people are guided by the religious teachings. Whether it's Hindu, they have their own commandments. Whether it's Quran, they have their own commandments. Whether it's Christian, they have their own commandments. What defines what's right and what's wrong? How do you determine if it's morally right or wrong without the religious guidance?
That is a very pertinent question, and a question I get from so many people. Probably because they haven't interacted a lot with atheists, so maybe they don't understand us. Yeah. Atheism is not synonymous with immorality. In fact, I have found that after I became an atheist, I have become a more morally conscious human being. So I base my morality as an atheist on secular principles. Secular principles. And let me preempt the secular principles or secular morality on certain things. First of all, we as human beings have a general instinct within us that enables us to decipher what is right or wrong. It is an evolutionary trait that was passed on from lower level primates. In fact, proof of that is evident when you look at apes or dogs. You know, research has been done among monkeys, and it was shown that if you take one monkey and give it 6 bananas, and then you take another monkey and give it 2 bananas, this monkey with more bananas will feel bad. It will feel empathy for the other monkey, and then it will share some of its extra bananas. So if a sense of empathy, which is a moral principle, is evident in a monkey which is not religious, sembuse binadamu, what about us? Another aspect, another source of morality among atheists is social consensus or survival, the need for survival, utility. You know, you look at something and then you ask yourself, is this beneficial for us as a species? Yeah, and you decide that it is not beneficial, so you opt not to do it. For instance, if it is killing, if we went around killing each other, we are going to become extinct in a matter of weeks. We'll all cease to exist. So it just makes common sense for us not to kill each other. So it's a result of social consensus. It's a result of the need for survival. Then it is also an inbuilt mechanism within us, which comes from evolution. Yes.
Okay, now, from what you just said, it means your guidance comes from secular morality and secular principles. And now, when you do say that, don't you think this will be subjective? As in, my right will not be your right, and my wrong will not be your wrong. It will be subjective based on everyone's understanding and interpretation. Don't you think that will bring chaos in today's world?
You assume that Christian or religious morality is objective. I put it to you that it is not. It is not. It is not simply because the holy texts are divergent. There are many religions. So to a Muslim, it is immoral for a woman to dress like me. I see around us here, we have some girls from Muslim schools and they're all covered up. So to them, it is immoral to look like me, to have my hair out and to have my shoulders and to wear cutex. It is immoral to them. Then even in Christian circles, they cannot agree on some basic things. For instance, among Catholics, they say that women are not allowed to become priests. And they base it on their holy text. The book of Corinthians actually stipulates that women shall not take up leadership over men. If they have a question, they shall ask their husbands at home. That's what it says. But here we have Reverend Natasha, Reverend Teresia Wairimo, who are not following the instructions in their book. So it's not as objective as you make it seem. All of us have to exercise moral judgment whenever we are presented with a situation. Lastly, I also have to put it to you that Christians are not perfect moral agents. We have so many people who are corrupt in Kenya. We are number 4 in terms of corruption. Yet 80% of us are Christians, 13% are Muslims, almost 95% of Kenyans are religious, but they are not moral. So it's not a guarantee. The two are not intertwined, that religion is synonymous with morality.
So as you conclude, all you're saying is that the religious affiliations, they have borrowed their ethical framework from secular principles and secular
Indeed.
morality.
They don't want to admit it. It's actually a PR exercise that religion has done so well. It has convinced people that we are the source of morality, when actually the opposite is true, the reverse is true. It is secular morality that has enabled us to survive up to this point and to make us better moral agents as a species.
What are your last words?
My last words are that contrary to popular opinion, secular living or atheism is not synonymous with immorality. Evidence of this is present in secular nations. Japan, one of the most safest countries on earth, it is also a secular nation. Yeah. And in Japan, little children go to school in trains by themselves. Nobody will kidnap them, nobody will abduct them, nobody will harm them in any way. It is so safe. The Nordic countries, Scandinavian countries, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, the Netherlands are the safest places. If you leave your bag at a public park and go away, people will take the bag and take it to the police station, and they'll call you and they'll give it back to you. It is predominantly a secular nation that rests on secular principles. But here in Kenya, in Africa, or in the Middle East, where there's a lot of religiosity, we have so many problems. Even in the church, where it's supposed to be the paragon of morality, you are told when you go to the podium to be prayed for, carry your bag, otherwise somebody is going to steal it from you. If it comes to corruption, if it comes to cheating, it is in droves. So let's debunk that myth. Let's be open to secular morality, to secular principles. Let's be our own moral arbiters. The best thing you can do for yourself is to think. Don't delegate the act of thinking to some external source, to some religious body, or to some God who we don't have any proof exists. Be your own moral arbiter. Examine each situation based on the merits, the demerits, the scientific evidence and proof. And I can tell you for a fact that you will be better for it.
The attempted coup in Niger is a full-on attack on the young democracy and is jeopardizing the country's future. A political solution now needs to be found quickly so that the country can return to the path of democracy. By detaining the elected president Mohamed Bazoum on the morning of 26 July 2023, the instigators of the coup have shaken the Niger's still young democracy to the core. Down with France, some said, condemning French support for President Mohamed Bazoum. Unable to get into the heavily protected compound, a window is set on fire and the French flag trashed. A common sight since Wednesday's military coup. Security forces eventually deployed tear gas towards the protesters. France warned it will retaliate immediately and in a strict manner in case of any attacks against its embassy, nationals, army or its diplomats. In particular, the coup is a bitter blow for the many people in the Niger who have been working tirelessly during the last few years to build a better future for their country, especially after it has been confronted with many challenges during the last few years. The consequences of climate crisis, the scarcity of national resources, a high population growth rate, and a great poverty have presented President Bazoum's government with major hurdles. The head of the Presidential Guard, General Abdul, declared himself Niger's new leader on Friday, saying he would suspend the constitution and rule with the so-called National Council for the safeguard of the homeland. Reporting for MMU TV, I am Nasirian Miri.
If anybody's still out here, it's time to go! If anybody's still out here, it's time to go!
These are the desperate calls for people still in the historic city of Lahaina on the island of Maui as the flames on the marina get closer and closer. In the United States of Hawaii, the death toll from wildfires has now risen to 36. Large parts of the resort of Lahaina on the island of Maui have been burned to the ground. Firefighters are still trying to get the fires under control. Reports say some people jumped into the ocean to escape the flames. Officials said they're still struggling to assess the full extent of the damage, and they've warned the death toll may rise further.
The primary focus is to save lives and to prevent human suffering and to mitigate great property loss. So that's exactly what the counties were and have been doing and are doing.
There's still wind, there's still fire going on, life's being saved. So please follow your local officials, listen to their message, and make sure you're safe, make sure you have a plan.
The White House has issued a message of condolence from President Joe Biden, praising the work of firefighters and ordered all available federal assets on the island to help with the response. For many people on Maui, though, any response may well be too late. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Rubai Dennis.
More than 100 passengers were injured near the city of Nawab Shah. Twisted, contorted, and thrown off the tracks, derailed so violently some carriages flipped on their side. Inside were passengers traveling from Karachi to Rawalpindi. Locals arrived before the army and rescue services. Passers-by clambered over wreckage, carefully guiding survivors out through windows and down over mangled metal. Other passengers did not walk away. Local hospital declared an emergency as tens of injured began arriving. Some were treated outside and the dead began to be counted. Losing the light, the rescue teams began removing the trains from the tracks. The cause of this disaster is not yet clear. Local police have told that this was not due to flooding of the tracks, contrary to local media reports, leaving the question, what caused this disaster and could such a loss of life have been avoided? Vivian Keo, MMU TV.
In a desolate area on the Tunisia-Libya border, black refugees have been waiting in scorching heat without an end in sight. These refugees were rounded up by Tunisian security forces in the coastal city of Sfax and brought here last week, a remote buffer zone at Tunisia's border with Libya, with no access to healthcare or any type of humanitarian support.
We have been begging them to give us, even if it is little water, just to quench our taste they refuse giving us. Please, they throw stone at us at the gutter.
Human Rights Watch has accused the Tunisian government of collective expulsion and mistreatment of black African refugees.
Tunisian actions towards migrants breach international law, and we have seen now forced expulsions which violate the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, as well as the UN Convention and other international treaties, and especially when they are linked to racial, ethnic, or national groups.
Reporting for MMU TV, I am Esther Mungai. Today at our Pimp My Ride segment, we focus on car tint and music systems. In the realm of automobile customization, where style and functionality collide, Speedy Wheels and Accessories emerge as a prominent player, spearheaded by the visionary CEO, Wayne Mule. This establishment has established itself as the ultimate destination for those seeking to pimp their ride with a touch of sophistication and individuality.
We have specialized on car wheels, tires, music, car music entertainment. We also do car wash services, issue to do with interior, car alarms, trackers, tint, Luma, and 3M Genuine. today we have worked on Toyota Corolla 110. We have installed genuine 3M car tinting. We have also worked on same car. We have installed radio system. We have also installed door speakers. The tint charges. The tint has costed 8,000. That's a complete car. We have also worked on the radio. The radio system as a radio inclusive of the speakers has costed 12,000.
But it's not just for the money. There's also great pride in being able to take something old and broken and turning it into something amazing. It's a thrill to see the transformation happen right before your eyes, and even more fulfilling to see the look on the customer's face when they lay eyes on the finished product.
Yeah, my services here were great, cheap and quality services.
For many young people, car renovation presents an opportunity to escape the rat race and forge their own path. It's a chance to channel their passion and creativity into something that can truly make a difference in their lives and the lives of others.